That's why I never argue with people. Their behavior
So,
tell me everything I need to know about them. If you just angry and mad for no reason, I know you got shit going on in your
so,
life.
Cairo, what do you say to our darker skinned brothers who I've been called a graham cracker before? And I know if you check my background, I know I'm more radical and more progressive for our people than any shade of color, when it comes to blackness. So what do you say? Because black is really more of an attitude and a condition. It's
Right.
not so much
Thank
if,
you.
if black was a skin color, then
Right.
everybody that's not dark skinned wouldn't be identifying as black. Let's think about this. But you
Right.
got people in our community just because they can see it. And I'm gonna be honest 100 with it. I researched my family tree. Yeah, it's some white people in there.
Right.
So do I have to watch my darker skinned brothers? Do I have to look at y'all niggas with a side eye? Like, oh, but damn, my nigga, you gonna hold some shit I had nothing to do with. I had nothing to do with however that cracker ended up in my bloodline. So do I need to watch you too? It's one of the
So
reasons I roll solo. No, no pun intended to Solo's name.
no, no, no.
But
It's
I've
okay.
seen, uh,
This is what I'm saying. That's why I say about the program and how white people use television and science against us. So this is where it comes, because the first person I ever fell in love with was Wesley Snipes on New Jack City. I wanted Wesley. I would thought he was just so dark, so handsome. I swear to God, I still got that thing on my page with the girl who he fell in love with. I wanted to be her. But long story short, like Martin and Gina with Pam, they make you think anything dark is ugly. Like they put Martin with the light skinned girl, and I always thought Pam was prettier. But every
she
time Pam
still
used to come
is.
around, but it makes you, but I'm gonna be honest, it makes you start the way he keep cracking jokes on her, telling her she ugly, she look like a mule. When you start seeing that and hearing that, that shit's in your subconscious and your conscious mind. So when you see anything look like Pam, you're referring back, you like, damn, she ugly. But that's the programming. So like you said, and I agree with what you said with that. Something you say about black is more like a behavior, because I don't know if you ever saw dark, handsome chocolate. Them niggas from Somali and over there from Senegal, them big black tall. I be like, oh my God. They be thinking they so black, but I be like, boy, you is so handsome, so exotic and fine as fuck. But like I say, you have to love being black. Me, I love being black. White people don't love being white. You think white people love being white? Ask a white person if they really love being white. They don't. They don't. They
But
hate what
before
they
we
see when they
before
look
we
in that
get to
mirror.
Cairo, I need jokes. I'm not sure if we got your thoughts. Before we go to the white side of town, how do we handle the colorism of our darker skinned brothers holding the cream in certain brothers' coffee? Like if you look at me and Jamie, you can see my coffee got more cream in it
Turn
than
off
Jamie
your
do.
TV. Turn off your TV. Stop watching television shows or movies that white people produce. Start watching black African movies. Because one thing when you see, whenever they write something, there's going to be something subtly in there to make you hate yourself, maybe if you are aware of it or not. You got to be surrounded by all black. You see, when you go to Africa, everything there is all black. So majority of them love black women. They love black men. But we over here being
But we're
whitewashed
not
and
talking
watered
about
down.
them, Cairo. Cairo, we asking when the last time y'all heard a light skinned or a brown skinned brother make a dark skinned joke?
I don't
Just
hear that. I never heard
Adam, I
that.
said that
I hear
earlier. Me
some
and
black
Jamie had
men
a
say they
private.
prefer
I
white
haven't heard
women.
that. But our dark skinned brothers are still doing the light skin, and I'm a brown skinned brother, so which puts me right in between. So if I'm refereeing the dark skin, light skin, I gotta honestly say, hey, dark skin brothers, y'all still keeping that shit going, homie. Like I don't even hear the light skinned niggas making dark skin jokes. So
I'm
what's
saying
going
No,
on?
because I
because
never
no,
experienced that with a
because
white person. They always looked at me that I was black. I always got treated. It don't matter if you're light. I always got treated like a nigga. So I
but
never
I
We
felt.
all do.
but I think
Uh-huh.
he talking about amongst us, like as
Thanks,
black
Solo.
people.
Come on, get in there.
So
But
he's
not. It's a
saying
Like
small
like
you pointing,
percentage because
Cairo.
all black people don't look at black people like that. That's what I'm saying. It depends on how you feel about yourself. If you love black, you don't care if they dark, caramel, none of that. You don't care. But when you're not too comfortable with being black, that's when you go to like, oh, she too dark or he too dark. That's where that come from. So that's
That's
something
but
in
I'm
people. Yeah, that's something in your
all of us
subconscious that
just
you need to
said
check.
all of us just said we haven't heard a light skinned or a brown skinned brother make dark skinned jokes in a long. I haven't heard it since high school.
Because I don't care what color black you are. If I'm
but
attracted to you, I'm
That's
attracted
the
to you.
psychology. That's what the mindset should be. But how does it make the lighter brothers feel if you got our dark skinned brothers holding colorism? Because we all agreed earlier that black is a mindset, black is an attitude, black is a condition, regardless of your colorism. So if I'm on a battlefield, I don't want to have to be looking at my dark skinned brothers like them niggas might sacrifice me because they feel like I got a white ancestor.
Black people, we
So
not like that. That's not in our
okay,
nature.
I
We don't
hope
get
not.
down like
Yeah,
that.
I'm damn sure gonna grade
We
the
the only
character to
people
make
that
sure we
don't
not
have. You
there.
know why we don't have to be racist towards anybody else, Todd? Because we were born with everything. It's a racism is a subtle word for hate. They don't hate us because we black. They hate us because they're jealous and they really want to be us. That's where that come from, man. So I think black people need to start turning off that fucking TV. That's the main thing that's programming them. That's my point, my perspective. Like, I don't know. You gotta love yourself before you can love anybody else. If you don't love yourself and you don't like what you see when you look in that mirror, you're not gonna like anybody else. You're not. You know
So
what I mean?
solo, and Cairo and Talia, if you want to speak on this, if a darker skinned black woman critique your complexion, what would be your clapback? What would be your response? So we talking about like a, let me see,
Well,
I'm thinking about dark. Hmm?
Taja, well, I was waiting on to address the previous issue. Now you bringing up a new issue.
Well, the dark skin is better. Cause as a being a light skinned person like Caramel, like you, when I look in the mirror, gravity noticing my ass, my face starting to break down, lines coming, and I look at my sister and she chocolate, she look like she in her fucking 20s. So who nobody really want to be light skinned. That's why people don't want to be white. Cause gravity gonna notice you. That sun gonna age you like a fucking banana.
I am
So
I am dark skinned, so I don't know how
yeah,
another dark.
chocolate is better. I bet you don't see any lines in your face. Gravity not notice you. Light skinned people, that sun start tearing our ass up too. We start breaking the fuck down, looking in that mirror mad, trying to go get some Botox, holding our skin back together, trying to see if we can get a facelift. I'm gonna be honest.
My
And when you look
mama,
at them dark skinned women, they age so gracefully, no makeup, just pretty.
I am dark skinned, so I know what another dark skinned woman would think about me. And my mom is very high yellow, and she's in her 60s. And when she buys her little nasty ass alcohol, she still gets carded. So she very much looks younger than what she is. And she's very high yellow.
That's what I love about us, though. Like Talia saying, she dark skinned. She got so people like us, Talia. I got a brother that's dark skinned. I got a older brother that's maybe a shade browner than me, but I got another brother that's dark skinned. And we used to do the light. That nigga used to call me Yellow Boy growing up. And then I know y'all get tired of me talking about the nation, but when the nation taught us what Cairo just said, that all of us come out of the dark skinned people, all human race groups come out, the original earthlings as we speak are the dark skinned people. So once I learned that, I cut the dark skinned jokes with my own brother in the same household, and we both learned that at the same time when we was coming into the knowledge. So but I still hear the from the females and the males sometimes, making the light skinned jokes, not so much the brown, but the brown kind of get a pass, but I do still hear the light skinned jokes. So we can move on if y'all want to. I know
Well,
we
I
have
wanted to respond.
Go ahead, so.
So, to go back to your original point, I had to say that I disagree. That I think that with like the way we use black, we use it as like an ethnicity, like it is a race of people, and we all know that black isn't a race. That's just like slang that we use to identify ourselves by using the term black. So I would consider, all, especially all Black Americans, because I think that that was us who considered ourselves to be black. So I would consider all of us to be black, but I don't think that it is an argument between us as to whether or not you're actually black, but the argument is whether or not you are a part of sort of our community, right? So whether you're Jamie's shade or you're Taj shade, I would consider all of us to be black. My shade, any shade from light to dark, because we can be any shade. I do, Taj, agree that now we have this trend or in this society right now that dark skinned people, they can make jokes about you being light skinned, but you cannot make jokes about them being dark skinned because you will get
Thanks for saying
canceled.
that. Go ahead.
But I remember when we used to make jokes about people being dark skinned and people being light skinned. But now making a joke about someone being dark skinned, especially if you attack the skin part, their skin, then you can get canceled for that. And I think it's because we associate that sort of with racism, like we do with colorism.